Hi friends, thanks for joining me. I know it's been a while since I've filmed a video or uploaded a video or anything. I took a little bit of a break, really thinking if this was something that I wanted to do, and after thinking about it for a long time, it is definitely something that I think will help me get through my days and just being able to talk to you guys about books. So I have my little cup of coffee here, so hopefully you guys have yours or tea or anything that you would like. But today I'm going to show you some of the books that I have recently picked up, because trust me, I could show you all the books that I've picked up since I've been gone, and that video would be very long. So without further ado, let's show you some books. The first book that I picked up was One Italian Summer. So this book, and I'm just gonna read the inserts right now for you, because I personally think those are the best, other than me just summarizing anything. So when Katie's mother dies, she is left reeling. Carol wasn't just Katie's mom, but her best friend and first phone call. When Katie's husband can't seem to get through to her, she is lost without her anchor. Her mother was her true north. To make matters worse, the mother-daughter trip of a lifetime looms, going to Positiano, following the very same route Carol did as a young woman. Katie has been waiting years for Carol to take her, and now suddenly she is faced with embarking on the adventure alone. But as soon as she steps foot on the beautiful Amalfi coast, buoyed by the stunning cliffsides, delectable food, and charming hotel staff, Katie begins to feel her mother's spirit. And then Carol appears for real, in the flesh, healthy and suntanned, and 30 years old. Katie doesn't understand what is happening or how, but over the course of her time in Italy, Katie gets to know Carol in this new form, and soon she must reconcile the mother who knew everything with the young woman who does not yet have a clue. One Italian Summer is Rebecca Serle's next great love story, a transcendent novel about how we move on after loss and how the people we love never truly leave us. I mean, doesn't that sound heartwarming? Oh, I just want to pick this up, and I cannot wait to do that. The next book I picked up is Darling Girl. So this is basically a Peter Pan retelling, and it actually has like an interesting bit about it. So it's basically, I'm pretty sure it's Wendy's daughter. So, but I'll read the insert so we can know for sure. Life is looking up for Holly Darling, granddaughter of Wendy. So granddaughter, sorry, a little off there. Yes, that Wendy. She's running a successful skincare company, her son Jack is happy and healthy, and the tragedy of her past is well behind her, until she gets a call that her daughter, Eden, who has been in a coma for nearly a decade, has gone missing from the estate where she's been long tucked away. And worst of all, Holly knows who must be responsible. Peter Pan, who is not only very real, but very dangerous. Eden has a rare condition, a secret that Holly is desperate to protect, especially from Eden's half-brother, Jack, who knows nothing about his sister or the crucial role she plays in his life. Holly has no one to turn to. Her mother, Jane, is the only other person in the world who knows that Peter is more than a love story, but she refuses to accept that he is not the hero she's always imagined. Desperate, Holly enlists the help of Christopher Cook, a notorious ex-soldier, in the hopes of rescuing Eden before she loses both her children. Darling Girl brings all the magic of the classic Peter Pan story to the present, while also exploring the dark underpinnings of fairy tales, grief, aging, sacrifice, motherhood, and just how far we will go to protect those we love. So, I loved Peter Pan growing up, reading like Hook with Robin Williams. That was a good one. And then the Disney version of Peter Pan, it's so heartwarming and so good. So I am super excited to see what this author has done with it, and let me know if any of you guys have read it yet and what you feel about it, because I would love to know. So the next book I bought was Cardiographers. This one, let me move my camera a little bit. There we go. This one sounds really good. It's more of like an urban fantasy from what I've read from the insert. So let me see. Nell Young's whole life and greatest passion is cartography. Her father, Dr. Daniel Young, is a legend in the field and Nell's personal hero, but she hasn't seen or spoken to him ever since he cruelly fired her and destroyed her reputation after an argument over an old, cheap gas station highway map. But when Dr. Young is found dead in his office at the New York Public Library with the very same seemingly worthless map hidden in his desk, Nell can't resist investigating. To her surprise, she soon discovers that the map is incredibly valuable and exceedingly rare. In fact, she may now have the only copy left in existence because a mysterious collector has been hunting down and destroying every last one, along with anyone who gets in the way. But why? To answer that question, Nell embarks on a dangerous journey to reveal a dark family secret and discovers the true power that lies in maps. So the first time I heard this word was from Shadow and Bone. And then that's when I realized what Cardiographers did. So when I saw this word again and a mystery story about it, but also like magical, fantastical, I had to pick it up. It just sounds so good. So I'm definitely excited for this one. I know, buddy. Oh no. Hey, no bite. No. The next one I picked up is definitely a romance. It's called Bringing Down the Duke. Anything that has to do with royalty, Britain, doesn't necessarily have to be Britain, but English royalty, I just die. And no, I haven't seen the second season of Bridgerton yet. I know, I'm a little behind. But anyway. England 1879. Brilliant but destitute, Annabel Archer is one of the first female students at Oxford University. Her scholarship demands that she recruit men of influence to champion the rising women's suffrage movement. Her target, the cold and calculating Duke of Montgomery, commander of Britain's politics. But Montgomery wouldn't be the kingdom's greatest strategist if he couldn't turn the tables and confront Annabel with an altogether different offer. Locked in a battle with rising passion and impossible attraction, Annabel will learn just what it takes to topple a duke. This just sounds, I hope there's angst, I hope there's passion. I cannot get enough of a good romance. Like any romance, anything at all, I just love it. I have another romance called Beach Read. So this one, I believe, without looking at the insert, is about two characters. They're both writers and they both rent a beach house next to each other. And they're kind of like rivals, and they write different genres. Well, they're both kind of having like writer's block, so they decide to do a challenge of they're gonna write basically each other's genre and see who can do it better. So let's just read the insert. Augustus Everett is an acclaimed author of literary fiction. January Andrews writes best-selling romance. When she pens A Happily Ever After, he kills off his entire cast. They're polar opposites. In fact, the only thing they have in common is that for the next 3 months, they're living in neighboring beach houses, broke and bogged down with writer's block. Then one hazy evening, one thing leads to another and they strike a deal designed to force them out of their creative ruts. Augustus will spend the summer writing something happy, and January will pen the next great American novel. She'll take him on field trips worthy of any rom-com montage, and he'll take her to interview surviving members of a backwoods death cult, obviously. Everyone will finish a book, and no one will fall in love. Really. So, I think this is definitely a hate to lovers romance. Definitely gonna be some angst. I'm excited that it has to be about writers and books, so definitely excited to pick this one up. My most excited pickup that I got, and by the way, all of these other books that I got, I'm a subscriber to Book of the Month, and so all of these came from Book of the Month, which that is their little tag right there. So I get 1 to 3 books every month. My husband kind of just rolls his eyes. But anyway, this one is The Stardust These by Chelsea Abdullah. I definitely just butchered that, so I am so sorry. But when I read the synopsis for this one, I just knew I had to buy it. Instantly had to get it. Neither here nor there, but long ago. Oh, by the way, it's a retelling of 1001 Nights. So if you have any idea of, like if you've heard those before, or if you know about the 1001 Nights, all of those stories, this is this is a twist on it. Louis Al-Nazari is the Midnight Merchant, a criminal who, with the help of her djinn bodyguard, hunts and sells illegal magic. When she saves the life of a cowardly prince, she draws the attention of his powerful father, the Sultan, who blackmails her into finding an ancient lamp that has the power to revive the barren land, at the cost of sacrificing all djinn. With no choice but to obey or be executed, Louis journeys with the Sultan's oldest son and one of his infamous 40 thieves to find the artifact. Aided by her bodyguard, who has secrets of his own, they must survive ghoul attacks, outwit a vengeful djinn queen, and confront a malicious killer from Louis' past. In a world where story is reality and illusion is truth, Louis will discover that everything, her enemy, her magic, even her own past, is not what it seems. Now she must decide who she will become. I mean, djinn, magic, princes, sultans, just let me pick it up now, like right now. Next one I picked up, I found from one of the channels that I watch a lot called the Clockwork Reader, so Hannah's channel. The Wolf and the Woodsman. I mean, this just sounds great. Fantasy, romance, like this just has everything, it sounds like. Forest, veiled pagan village. Evie is the only woman without power, making her an outcast, clearly abandoned by the gods. The villagers blame her corrupt bloodline. Her father was a Yuli man, one of the much-loathed servants for the fanatical king. When soldiers arrive from the Holy Order of Woodsmen to claim a pagan girl for the king's blood sacrifice, Evie is betrayed by her fellow villagers and surrendered. But when monsters attack the Woodsmen and their captive en route, slaughtering everyone but Evie and the cold, one-eyed captain, the two have no choice but to rely on each other. Except the captain is no ordinary Woodsman. He's the disgraced prince, Barney Gaspar, whose father needs pagan magic to consolidate his power. Gaspar fears that his cruelly zealous brother plans to seize the throne and investigate a violent reign that would damn the pagans and the Yuli alike. As the son of a reviled foreign queen, Gaspar understands that it's like to be an outcast, and he and Evie make a tenuous pact to stop his brother. As their mission takes them from the bitter northern tundra to the smog-choked capital, their mutual loathing slowly turns to affection, bound by a shared history of alienation and oppression. However, trust can easily turn to betrayal, and as Evie reconnects with her estranged father and discovers her own hidden magic, she and Gaspar need to decide whose side they're on, and what they're willing to give up for a nation that never cared for them at all. I mean, doesn't that sound great? It sounds like it's got action, adventure, love. I mean, this is gonna be good. And isn't that cover, isn't it pretty? I just love it. So the next two books I picked up are the first one and the second one. So the first one is Strange the Dreamer, and the second one is sequel, Muse of Nightmares. Aren't they just, it looks so good. So the first one, the back here says, Laszlo Strange, war orphan and junior librarian, has been obsessed with the mythic lost city of Weep for as long as he can remember, but it would take someone bolder than he to cross half the world in search of it. Then a stunning opportunity presents itself in the person of a hero called the Godslayer and a band of legendary warriors, and he has to seize his chance or lose his dream forever. What happened in Weep 200 years ago to cut it off from the rest of the world? What exactly did the Godslayer slay that went by the name of God? The answers await in Weep, but so do more mysteries, including the blue-skinned goddess who appears in Laszlo's dreams. How did he dream of her before he knew she existed? In this sweeping and breathtaking novel by National Book Award finalist Laini Taylor, the shadow of the past is as real as the ghosts who haunt the citadel of murdered gods. Fall into a mythical world of dread and wonder, moss and nightmares, love and carnage. Welcome to Weep. I mean, this sounds just like it's gonna be lyrical and have all kinds of just politics, information, maybe a love interest, but definitely fantastical. So I am super excited to pick this up. And I mean, it's also got a Mitchell Prince Award for Excellence in Young Adult Literature. So, I mean, you know that this has got to be good. So I really, really hope that I like it, especially since I picked up its counterpart. So, but yeah, 2 books by Laini Taylor. Excited for these. Next 2 books are also the first and second in a trilogy series, which the 3rd book will be coming out sometime in August. So I'm hoping that I can pick these up because I'd like to at least read these before I buy the 3rd one, but I'm pretty positive I will like both of these. So the first one is called Fireborne, and the second one is Flamefall. So this is the first book in the series, and this is the second book in the series. So in the first book, I'll just read the excerpt from this one because I don't want to read the second one to give you any like possible spoilers or anything like that. So Annie and Lee were only children when revolution changed their world, giving everyone a chance to test into the governing class of dragon riders. Now they are both rising stars in the new regime, even though Annie's low-born family was executed by dragonfire, while Lee was born to the very aristocrats who used to rule the city. A childhood at the same orphanage forged their friendship, and 7 years of training have made them rivals for the top position in the dragon riding fleet. But everything changes when survivors from the old regime surface, bent on reclaiming their city. With war on the horizon, Lee must choose to kill the only family he has ever left, or to betray everything he's come to believe in. And Annie must decide whether to protect her dearest friend or step up to be the champion her city needs. Loyalty and love are tested in this gripping adventure that asks what matters most, the family you were born into or the one you've chosen. So it gives a lot, but then it also doesn't give a whole lot either. Basically from that, all I know is that there's 2 friends, could be love interest, maybe not, but then there's also dragons. I mean, dragons, that had to pick it up. Also had to get the second one just because. So cannot wait for both of these. Very excited. This book I'm going to show you, it's been all over Instagram and all over TikTok. I do not have TikTok. I just know because of some of the other booktubers that I watch. So I've heard really, really good things about this. I hope I like it because this will definitely be the next one that I pick up. But it's the Atlas 6. So this just, when I read the insert, it had me intrigued. I really wanted to just put everything down and start reading this just because it sounds so great. And also, like, I was flipping through it the other day, and I mean, every chapter, it's got pictures in it. See? So there's pictures like that all through this book. But I will read this little insert. It does not really give a whole lot. So it has that edge of mystery to it. But this definitely has magical components. I think it's definitely got a science part with the magic. So very interesting, very excited. So the synopsis is, each decade, only the 6 most uniquely talented magicians are selected to earn a place in the Alexandrian Society, the foremost secret society in the world. The chosen will secure a life of power and prestige beyond their wildest dreams, but at what cost? Each of the 6 new recruits has their reasons for accepting the society's elusive invitation, even if it means growing closer than they could have imagined to their most dangerous enemies, or risking unforgivable betrayal from their most trusted allies. They will fight tooth and nail for the right to join the ranks of the Alexandrians, even if it means they won't all survive the year. So, with that little last sentence, it sounds like there could be definitely death, and who knows how much death. So, I mean, this just I can't even fathom how I want to pick this up so bad, but knowledge is carnage. See, it looks so good. Last book I'm going to show you, I've actually already started, and so far I am loving it, but I will tell you more about it in my wrap-up. But it's called Sorcery of Thorns. So this is a YA fantasy, and it has books and libraries and demons and magic, and I'm telling you, I'm almost halfway through, and when I start reading, I don't want to put this down, but unfortunately, you know, life calls and you have to. So I will read this little insert real quick for you, and oh, it sounds so good. All sorcerers are evil. Elizabeth has known that as long as she has known anything. Raised as a fondling in one of Ostermer's great libraries, Elizabeth has grown up among the tools of sorcery, magical grimoires that whisper on the shelves and rattle beneath iron chains. If provoked, they transform into grotesque monsters of ink and leather. She hopes to become a warden charged with protecting the kingdom from their power. Then an act of sabotage releases the library's most dangerous grimoire. Elizabeth's desperate intervention implicates her in the crime, and she is torn from her home to face justice in the capital. With no one to turn to but her sworn enemy, the sorcerer Nathaniel Thorne, and his mysterious demonic servant, she finds herself entangled in a centuries-old conspiracy. Not only could the great libraries go up in flames, but the world along with them. As her alliance with Nathaniel grows stronger, Elizabeth starts to question everything she's been taught, about sorcerers, about the libraries she so loves, even about herself. For Elizabeth has a power she has never guessed, and a future she could never have imagined. I mean, this is definitely a tale of a girl who is trying to find herself, who is definitely, after being raised in a library and only knowing one thing, finally getting out and about. She's trying to figure out who she is, who she truly is. So it's definitely not only an adventure to stop evil, but also an adventure for her to find out who she is. So I'm super loving this book right now. And if any of you have read it, please let me know how you feel about it. I know where I'm at right now, but that's definitely, yeah. So those are all the books that I have recently picked up. I hopefully will be able to have another book haul for you guys here soon with some more books, and I have a bunch of other videos planned, so please stay tuned. Please check out the channel and subscribe. I'm really excited for you all to be here, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.